Alrighty, I'm going to start a new project here this morning. Hope not take too long. This is the before, and these doors are they're going to go. Got to get rid of them. And I picked up some French doors that I'm going to put in. I'll show you what I got. Let's see if we can do that trick that I've seen on YouTube. Okay, all right, here's what I've got. Here's one of them. This will be the left door. And the lady replaced it, got new doors. It's got the blinds built in. They're metal. Nothing wrong with them really. They're gelled win doors. And the other one's inside. I had to do some slight modification on them. My current doors are starting to get some rot on them. And where the hinge mounts down there is pretty bad. They're not very tight. You can see they kind of bow out at the top. If you look at the right angle, you can see air gaps all around them. So when I'm trying to heat it, it's a little challenging. So my opening is 80 inches tall. The doors are 77. And I'm going to take these 1x pressure treated. I'm going to use one at the bottom for my threshold. Then I'm going to use one on each side. At the top I'll have to put in a 2x4. And I should be able to have brand new doors. Alright, let's see what we can get done with this. Wait a minute, there's the other door. And that blind, there's nothing wrong with it, of course. It's just the way it's laying. Alright, let's get started on this project. I think I got this job done. Got the old doors off. I got these mounted in. And they are not sealed quite as tight as you would want it in a house. I don't think they'll leak water. I had to piece my molding there. That'll all fade and be the same. You won't notice it after a while. I left that original top piece up there. It was attached and caulked, and that'll help deflect water off the top of it. So there's no reason to take it off. And everything's nice and tight. I put the metal threshold back on top. I put a 1x4 like this molding there down for a threshold, and then put this piece of metal down on it. And I think what I'm going to do is get me a transition piece to come across here to my mat, and that'll keep me from catching that and pulling it up. I've done that before. And so it's really pretty flush there with that mat. And then I just took and ripped some 1x's to put in there. I was going to notch them and get this weather stripping like you see here. But there's no need in this thing being that airtight. With this stove, I can tell a big difference. Of course, it warmed up today. Let me come in here and close the door here. And it's nice to have those additional windows inside my shop. I lost a little bit of width. There's 1.5 inches on that side, and there's 2 inches on that side. And what I had to do is I framed this thing up with 1x's, and I had to put a 1/4 inch spacer in there so my doors would meet, and they met perfectly. And the gap was just dead on. And so got a dead bolt there with keyed on both sides. I'm going to rebuild my ramp now. I put that block there just temporarily. I've got the pins that hold this second door drilled into the bottom and the top. And I got a little notch out there, but a little bit of air gap there. But I tell you, that's a lot less than what the old doors had. I'm really happy with this. The blinds work good. Just a slide there and let all kind of light in. They will raise up, and so I can let full light in if I wanted to. I have less than $50 in this project, and the biggest expense was that doorknob and deadbolt. It was $32 at Lowe's, and the lumber in here was all freebie left over from other projects. I had to buy the molding, the treated one for the outside and that threshold. So I got to clean these things up. They laid out at the curb for a week or so before I stopped and picked them up. All right, so that's the finished product. I like that a lot better. I may eventually get some more of this treated 1x and do the corners and maybe replace that piece up there. Just have it a tan building with that. Anyway, that's a lot better than what I had. Thanks for your interest. See you next time.